Okay, I didn't actually prepare a whole lot for this video because I've had a lot of things to do lately, so I've just been like all over the place. It's ridiculous, but here it goes. 2 weeks yesterday, on testosterone. I went for the second shot yesterday. And that's the one you're supposed to do yourself in front of the doctor to make sure, like, you know what you're doing. And so I go there, and I only gave myself about an hour because I had to go to class, and I figured that would be enough time. So she takes about like 20-30 minutes to get in there because she's running behind, which is understandable because she's one of the only like nice, awesome doctors that I've ever had there. But I did everything myself pretty much, you know. I cleaned everything pretty well. I got into the needle, even though it took forever because the needles were really, really, forget what gauge they are at the moment. I can pick it up. 23. So it was it took a while for that, but no air bubbles or anything. It was great. I had it ready to go right here, and every time I tried to dart back, it was just my arm wouldn't move. So I don't know. That was really weird for me because normally I've been able to inflict other kinds of pain on myself if necessary. I'm not talking about anything weird, just like I had toenails I had to rip out, but it was just that physical, like, I have to give this to myself, like, I couldn't do it, so I have to come back 2 weeks from today or yesterday. But after that initial shot a couple weeks ago, I was, you know, every day you're looking for something, and I don't really think a lot has happened. I mean, there have been a lot of little things I've noticed, but it's that thing that you notice yourself every day, you see yourself every day, so little things don't really sneak up on you, or maybe on other people, but you have to like really step back to take a look at little things that have changed. And like that first day was interesting. The first couple days really started to notice, like the hair's getting darker, like on my arms and my legs. I've noticed like new pores coming in on my hands and wrists, like where I didn't have hair before. There's not hair there now, but it's just pores. I also notice, like, when I work out, it's different now. It's every day being able to do a little bit more instead of doing the same thing. My muscles even feel different after working out. Like, not that they still, like, are sore. It's just, it's a different kind of sore than I was used to. And I guess it's just that easier to build muscle kind of thing, and it's really cool. Other things, let me see. Oh, of course. Downstairs, yeah, it's definitely, there's genital growth and stuff. That was really awkward, I'm sorry if you had to hear that. And sex drive definitely up. I'm seriously like a 14-year-old boy, it's ridiculous. I'm sure, you know, my girlfriend was pretty happy about that most of the time, but so it's been really, not so bad, but hard to control over the last couple weeks, but finally getting a handle on it. And let's see, oh, I did have a headache the first night of that shot, the first one. A pretty bad one. Ironically enough, however, I also got my period that day, the March 10th, when I got that shot, like a couple hours afterwards. And I found out that that would probably be the weirdest, most ridiculous thing that could have happened, and of course it happened to me. I had called my mom right before that shot, and we only talked for like a minute because she really didn't have much to say other than that. I mean, I knew she was pretty upset. But I went to go visit my girlfriend's family for spring break, which was excellent. We had a cake, and that was fucking hilarious. My girlfriend had tried to write, "It's a boy," on the cake, but the Y became an X. So you can probably figure out how funny that is. I don't know if anything's happened with my voice yet. I can't really tell, except that I squeak a little bit sometimes now. I haven't really listened to my own voice in some time, so I guess I'll have to try that again. I guess I'll hear it again, not see it, but after I'm done with this. But if you have noticed anything, let me know too, because that'd be cool. Let's see. I'm sure there's something else that I'm forgetting. You know, people have said a lot of stuff about mood swings and everything like that. I definitely haven't felt anything but good, like, better. You know, I'm not more irritable at all. I'm not angry. I just feel good. And general things about the tea I'm taking, well, I'm on the 0.5 milliliters right now, but probably going to get moved up next time when they check to see, or the time after to check if my levels, because apparently they do a little bit lower first to see if that gets you where you need to be, and if not, they'll move it back, they'll move it up. So yeah, lovely little prescriptions. That's kind of cool. Not as expensive at all, really. The tea was like 60 bucks, and the syringes were like 25 for like 100 of them. They're really weird syringes though, with this like a safety thing on them, and they kind of, apparently nobody likes them because they do kind of like, the barrel slips away sometimes. But it's just cool because I have this little bottle now and I can show you. It's like, I hope that works. Fun shit though. I do have lots of stories because of this, because of everything, and it's fun to see what people do with pronouns, especially in this one class of mine. I'm sorry this is really rambly, but it is a funny story. Because in the beginning of the semester, I came out to the class. I was basically like introduced by another student as Dylan, as he, but my professor didn't get it. And because he didn't get it when we moved to my lab section, which is much smaller, it's like there's like 5 of us, he continued with that. So the rest of the class continued, and I was just like, I'll see how this plays out when things start to change and they don't know what to do, because I thought it would be funny. And we had guest instructors today who pretty much picked up on everything. That I was male, not, you know, and they got it. And they were using the proper pronouns for a while until the other students in the class had to refer to me, and then they were using she. So the professors again started to fall to that default with the students. I figured since I hadn't corrected them, they would have gotten the idea, but I mean, subtlety doesn't work with some people, which is kind of weird. And I'm sorry, I'm just extremely busy with getting stuff ready for Pride Week next week and the drag show, and it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But speaking of ridiculous, I found my keys today. Well, because I had skipped class on Monday, and I was like, oh my god. And long story short, this fire extinguisher pin is an extremely important drumline thing, and I'm so happy after like months to finally have it. Last thing I'm going to say. Since I hadn't had my keys, I couldn't open my mailbox, and I received a card from my parents today, which was sent for Valentine's Day, and let me read this to you. Because it's interesting, and I liked it until I read the very last line of the inside of the card, and then I felt like they were trying to, you know, tell me something without actually telling me something. It says, parents do not realize when their daughter is a child how fleeting the moments truly are. And in the blink of an eye, the little girl who did pirouettes down the hall is dancing her way through her own life. We want you to know the joy it was then, the joy it is now, the joy it forever will be, dash, to have you as our daughter. This came in a pink envelope, too. So, I mean, I guess the thought and the gesture of it, it's really nice, and I like the message they're sending, except the fact that there's also another message they're sending, and that might have been the one that they wanted to send, instead of the one that I would have liked them to send. Instead of like, hey, we love you as our kid, no matter what, it's going to be awesome. It's like, oh, we won't love you unless you're our daughter, kind of message. That's, I mean, sorry to end this on that kind of weird note, but it just happened. I just got this card, so I've been turning that over for a few minutes. I'll probably do another video next week instead, because doing 2 weeks means there's just so much shit going on. But after that's over, and after the drag show, I'm sure I'll have a shit ton of things to say, so, thanks for bearing with me, and I'll get back to you guys soon.